I'm Andy Baker, CEO at Sesimi. We're a brand management platform specializing in content automation.
Hi, I'm Katelyn Zborowski. I'm head of brand strategy and calendar planning for Pizza Hut US.
Katelyn, it's great to meet you. In your role as head of brand strategy and integrated marketing at Pizza Hut, I really want to start out with some really heavy hitting questions out of the gate. Give the audience a chance to get to know you a little bit. So you were or have previously also been the director of brand at Taco Bell, and I think you're in that role for about 8 years prior to the Pizza Hut role. So the hard hitting question out of the gate is, the cupboard is bare at 7 p.m. There is nothing in the fridge. What are we ordering? Are we ordering pizza or are we ordering tacos?
That is hard hitting. I would love to say why not both, but I'm probably incredibly hangry, and at that point, I'm going to go for the pizza.
Yeah. I think given your current role, that is not an unexpected answer to the question. So I'm going to go a little bit more divisive. The place of pineapple on a pizza, is that a thing in your world? Do you order that?
I'm about to make 50% of the population very angry, but I am pro pineapple. Yep. However, it has to be with jalapeno. So that is where I veer off from the ham and pineapple crowd. Is I believe pineapple belongs with jalapeno.
I like it. And so just to give the audience a chance to get to know you a little bit better as well, I'd love to know some of the brands that really inspire you, or any recent in memory campaigns that really you draw inspiration from in your world of marketing.
Yeah. I tend to look outside the category, so outside fast food, outside QSR and pizza. There's a lot of lifestyle retail brands. Nike is the obvious one. Yep. Apple is another obvious one. Yes. But I think they're obvious for a reason. One that might not be so obvious that has really stuck with me is the TurboTax campaign with Adrian Brody, taking a very dramatic, serious actor and really having fun with, frankly, how horrible tax season is and how no one likes it. And I think their most recent ad campaign is super memorable, really lands the proposition of, what TurboTax is. It's about making your life easy. It's about making tax season less hard, less scary. Yep. And I think it's a very simple but beautiful example of how consumer insights can flow through to something incredibly sticky.
That makes complete sense. And I think that's probably a good segue to get into the interview proper. I think you raised some really resonant points around how to make advertising or brand campaigns sticky with the consumer. And so when I think about recent campaigns in the Pizza Hut realm, I think of the Pizza Hut campaign that was based in and around March Madness in 25. And then I think of the more recent campaign around Valentine's Day, the activation around Valentine's Day with respect to the Love Heart Pizza.
Yes.
And I think you guys also integrated that whole campaign with
the Backstreet Boys.
With the Backstreet Boys, right?
Yes.
So I'd love to be able to give the audience a bit of insights around what you loved about coming up with those campaign ideas and the execution of them. But I guess more importantly, what was the strategic thinking around the activation, the ideas that came to life?
Sure. Starting with Pizza Hut or Pizza Hut.
Brilliant.
Really, he's the physical embodiment, I think, of the role the brand plays in people's lives. That it's not about Pizza Hut. It's not even really about the pizza. It's about us helping feed good times and helping keep these special moments going. And I think we all have that person or brand or food in our lives that when we're thinking of highly memorable, special moments, they were there or it was there. Maybe it wasn't their event or their moment, but they're a part of it. Yep. And so the idea and goal behind Pizza Hut was to have this human depiction of Pizza Hut and how that shows up. And so him walking onto a basketball court and a bunch of friends are, just sweating and playing ball and just like being friends. And it's kind of this lighthearted moment where, he's delivering the food, but it's not really about him. It's about the moment they're sharing and their relationship.
Got it. Makes sense.
I'd say that the Backstreet Boys collaboration, that is really just, first of all, who doesn't love the Backstreet Boys? A marketer's dream to have worked with them, of course. But that was really just about, hey, they do have this song, The Shape of My Heart. It's super iconic. Without even realizing it, most people know the words. If it were to come on, it's one of those songs where you just start singing along and you don't know how or why, it just happens. And they really speak to our core customer, which is that, millennial parent, that millennial mom. It's a
lot of 90s nostalgia.
It is. It's super distinctive, super nostalgic, iconic. And for us, it was just a fun way to talk about Valentine's Day and a pizza shaped like a heart, when Pizza Hut honestly isn't the only pizza company that does heart-shaped pizza for Valentine's Day.
Of course, yeah.
It's a way to pull us away from the pack.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I bought all the Backstreet Boys albums back in the day, and then there was a period of time where I would not tell anyone that I owned a Backstreet Boys album, and now it's right back in our psyche.
Totally, it went from super cool to like maybe a guilty pleasure to somehow cool again. I mean, look at T-Mobile and everything they're doing with them.
Yeah, that's true. That's really resonant. I think one of the things that really strikes me about that strategic thinking and the execution of the content around March Madness, around Valentine's Day, is this activation around events or moments in time. And that's obviously the play with respect to those campaigns and making them really relevant at a moment in time, because obviously in your industry, it's all about the now. Like, we're not pre-ordering pizzas for 6-12 months in advance. Like, it's not like the car industry where you buy a car and you don't get it delivered for 12 months. It is a now purchase.
Yes.
And so I imagine that's really that connection piece that you're trying to drive. It's the instantaneous right here, right now.
Definitely. I mean, food in general it's pretty emotional. It's pretty spontaneous. Yeah. Even for those who do order pizza ahead of time, I mean, there's only a couple of moments in the year, like Super Bowl is one of them.
How far ahead would someone actually order pizza in reality?
I mean, 2 to 3 days at most.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
2 to 3 days at most. But that is when it's going to be something like Super Bowl or March Madness Final Four, where oh my gosh, if I wait until the day of, they may not even be able to accept or fulfill my order. So it's really to make sure you have the pizza.
Yep.
And yeah, I'd say maybe 4 days. Maybe 4 days if you're incentivizing it.
It's like a little Easter egg surprise when you order a pizza 4 days in advance and you forget that you've ordered
exactly.
it.
Yes. It's like Amazon packages that show up that you ordered in the night.
Yeah, exactly. And so Pizza Hut, obviously being a franchise business, we've spoken about 2 great national campaigns that went out live into market. How does the brand think about regionalization or activation within regional markets? And I guess the one example that I sort of researched and wanted to talk to you about was, and I forget the name.
The Nothing Tops Texas.
Nothing Tops Texas, which is relevant because we're here at Brand Innovators
100%.
at South by Southwest.
Yes.
So love to get a bit of an understanding of how you think about regionalization or localization. And do you drop right down into like that personalization level at a consumer?
Yeah, I mean, we can. We definitely have that ability. I mean, Pizza Hut is fortunate to be a highly digital business now. It went from traditional buffet in-store dining rooms to now the majority of our sales are e-commerce. And so you do have the ability to speak directly to that customer base, target a message to them around a certain set of stores. And so we can certainly do that. I would say our local campaigns, they are run by the franchise marketers in their respective organizations. The role of the Pizza Hut brand marketing team is to partner with the franchisees. Most of our local campaigns are run by regional organizational-based franchise marketers. And so they're really the ones coming up with the ideas, funding the campaigns. Our job is to partner with them on asset production, making sure that the brand is showing up consistently and as per brand guidelines. Often there is the opportunity for us to help amplify the message, whether that is adding a bit of paid social or leveraging CRM, because we are such a digitally based business. We do have a lot of customer data. We can help craft a personalized message, make sure it's getting targeted to those right people around that store list.
Right.
In the case of Nothing Tops Texas, I mean, there is just such this regional pride that Texas and Texans have. And so that particular organization that executed that partnered with its peer franchise org. So it wasn't just one organization.
Got it.
It's actually a very fierce and fabulous woman who came up with this. And she went to the different franchisees in that region and convinced them to get on board and to go all in on this Nothing Tops Texas statewide activation.
Got it.
And so we helped, again, with the assets, with making sure promo codes worked, they had the right targetable, data sets and that sort of thing. But it was totally about, hey, let's really capitalize on that regional pride. Let's also take advantage of the fact that we had a great extra large pizza at a $10 price point during that time, and just make a celebration moment around, hey, this is our biggest pizza ever. You know, everything's bigger in Texas. It kind of just was this magical natural fit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so just talking about the regional franchise activation for the moment, does it ever drop down into a franchisee running and placing their own media, or is everything driven out of head office?
It can. So from a national standpoint, we manage the national level media buy, trafficking, optimization, measurement, all of that. But our franchise orgs, they do have a local store marketing budget.
Got it.
And so some of them choose to spend that on supplementary local paid media. Others might use it to show up at community events or to do direct mail, which people still do and is actually very effective, but is now also very expensive.
Of course.
So they have flexibility in how they use it.
Amazing. And so consistency in the messaging is obviously paramount.
Yes.
You know, Pizza Hut is a brand in and of its own right and extremely well known. And so I imagine that consistency piece, when you drop down from national into regional, potentially right down into the franchise level, is super important for the brand.
Yes, I'd say, you know, national brand consistency. And on top of that, we are a global brand. I do think it's dials and knobs. I mean, there's a certain level of consistency that we have to maintain to protect the brand, to make sure that we're clear about what it is we stand for, our role in consumers' lives. But there are, you know, there's fine tuning that I think can and should be done, whether it's, you know, in a region or a state or a local community. So it needs to be freedom within a framework with some level of flexibility, but certainly we don't want to veer too far away from our North Star.
Yeah, I think that freedom within the framework is speaking the language of all marketers, right?
Yes.
You want to give flexibility, but it does need to be on brand.
Definitely.
So no interview or questionnaire in 2026 avoids the question of AI. I'd love to hear a little bit about the AI journey at Pizza Hut.
Sure.
And I know we need to be reasonably quick here, but love to know what's worked, what hasn't worked, and maybe what the challenges in 2026 might be more broadly.
Yeah, so I'd say we've made some serious headway on using AI to honestly just have better, more effective ideation, to develop concepts, to do consumer testing. That is where I get really excited because, I mean, it's laborious to write 10 different concept boards with all these different positioning statements. AI is a miracle in that regard. We have done some pilot tests with things like OfferFit to have more personalized offers, CRM journeys. I think that is the space, like leveraging on go-to-market, where we have a ways to go. And we're fortunate to be in this boat with sister brands that we can learn from, share knowledge with. But I'd say that's where we still have some code to crack, if you will. But in the upfront ideation, sourcing of insights, understanding customer sentiment, it has been a lifesaver.
I bet. And I imagine you have a huge amount of customer data.
Absolutely.
Or data, I should say, in the US. And are you finding integration points or points of connection between AI and that consumer data to get drop right down into that highly personalized?
Definitely. I mean, it can help aggregate en masse the behavioral data, maybe not demographical data, but behavioral data. It can help us make sure that we're serving the right message, the right offer to the right person at the right time. And then it's also been really instrumental to helping our team members be more effective and more efficient, because it can also help them with labor planning, with making sure that they have the right staffing levels, inventory management. So it's also taking one of those tasks or two of those tasks off of team members that are already asked to do, frankly, a lot of things and more by the day.
So I think that they're all fantastic insights. Love to understand from your perspective what energizes Katelyn, what gets you out of bed in the morning and like excited to go to work, and really how you're thinking about the experiences that you've had and how you're going to start to leverage the partner networks and the brand content. Like, what's next?
Yeah, I mean, what excites me is honestly like solving real consumer problems. And I think fundamentally that people don't really buy products. I mean, yes, they do buy food, they do buy pizza, but what they're actually buying into is a solution to a problem they have. Like, my cupboards are bare, it's 8 p.m. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I'm going to pull up the Pizza Hut app, and what do you know? I have rewards points. I don't even have to pay for this. So it's things like that that we're making a small but real and measurable difference in people's lives. Even though we are a pizza brand, that is really exciting to me.
I think it's that measurable bonus in everyone's life, but it's also the
Yes.
enjoyment factor that I think
Totally.
you as a brand are really bringing to market. And you
Yes.
can see that through the advertising that you're doing. So
Thank you.
huge kudos to you and the brand. And thank you for your time. Really appreciate getting to know you, and hope everyone took something out of Katelyn's interview today.